Hi, this is Dr. Go. This video is the first of 3 videos that I'll be putting out in a series on how to find your own teacher, your best teacher, the teacher that's best for you. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dr. Go. I've been a professional violinist for over 20 years. I've been a professional orchestra musician. I've been a soloist. I've been chamber musician. Currently, I'm the artistic director of Musicians Linkage. I'm wearing their shirt. I'm also in the faculty, the violin faculty of the Glasgow International Music Festival, and I am a violin lecturer at both UCSI and some universities. That being said, I forgot to mention, I'm also a published author about violin playing and martial arts. So this video, like I said, is the first video in a series of 3, and this is about finding a teacher. I've talked a lot about listening to your teacher when you've actually found your teacher, but I haven't really talked about how to find your own teacher. So we're breaking it up into 3 videos. The first video is for beginning violinists or student violinists. The second video will be for university or collegiate violinists. And the third video will be for professionals looking to improve themselves. Slightly different considerations, and some of them will be, same considerations. So let's begin. If you are a new violinist, somebody who's never seen a violin or touched a violin before in your life, and you want to find a teacher, a good teacher for yourself. Now, some common mistakes that I see being made by parents, by students themselves looking to begin. Number one, I shouldn't say the number one problem, but one problem that I see is that they think, well, any teacher will do because I'm not sure if I'm going to be serious. Where that can be a mistake is that, well, not all violin teachers are very well versed at teaching. They might not be very experienced, or they might be going into it, like, say, for example, in the country I'm living in right now, Malaysia, there are people that can take the ABRSM grade 5 exam, and if they pass, a lot of them will begin teaching right away. Now, grade 5, the ABRSM system, they go up to grade 8, and then you start the diploma series, the Diploma A, Diploma L, Diploma F. Well, the simple thing is that grade 5, if they're teaching grade 5, they haven't hit a high enough level that they can understand why we have to hold the violin a certain way in order to do things in the future. And so they start teaching shortcuts. Well, not all of them, but some of them teach shortcuts, and that can hurt their students in the long run. So these are things to look out for. If you're really going to begin if you're going to begin lessons in the violin or any other high-end discipline, look for a good teacher, somebody who's already accomplished a high level and they understand why things have to be done a certain way. Otherwise, you can build habits in your playing that can harm you farther down the road. And habits, as any studied violinist will tell you, bad habits are very difficult to break. They're breakable, but they're not easy to break. And then after that, you have to correct them. So another thing you have to look out for is, if you are a parent with a student interested in starting the violin, know your child very well and understand how to start a conversation with them so you get good feedback from your child as far as what they think of the lesson with the teacher. I've seen cases where the conversation between the parents and the child was not so good, and there were miscommunications that happened, and in the end, yes, the child discontinued violin. The teacher, sure, they lost a student, but that wasn't the heart-wrenching part. Heart-wrenching part was that the kid actually liked the violin and had to stop. There was no choice for them. This did not happen to my students, but I've seen it with other people's students, and it's heart-wrenching. when that happens. So try to make sure that there's good rapport between student and parent before you send your child to a teacher, so you really understand what the kid is thinking. Another thing about that is to really know what type of child your kid is. And for children who are students, make sure you also try to learn what type of person you are, okay? And the reason I'm saying this is, when I was young, and still am, okay, I'm trying to make myself better, but I was and somewhat still am a punk, okay? I missed a lot of opportunities because I didn't listen to people very well. Well, it kind of rubs some people the wrong way, and it's really not their fault. It's my fault. So I didn't get as much out of some teachers as I could have had I just been less of a punk. If you are something like me, where you're not the best at listening to other people, you have to know that about yourself. And what this all leads to is a very important point: chemistry. This is the number one thing, that we should always be looking at between a student and a teacher. If you have the best student in the world and the best teacher in the world, and the chemistry doesn't work, the progress will not be good. One important point coming from this is that a lot of people make the mistake of looking only at the results of what happened in lessons between a student and a teacher. That's a mistake. The important thing when we're taking lessons in violin playing or cello playing or any craft, martial arts, say, is the journey. The important thing is the journey, okay? Is the journey a good journey where they're learning a lot of things? Yeah, exams and, tests and such, maybe the results aren't great at first, but how is the journey? That's the important thing. If you sit there and put too many demands on a teacher when they're sitting there trying to craft a good journey for the student, you might actually damage the journey for the child, for the student. If you're a beginning student, you're an adult, and you're in a relationship with the teacher, a student-teacher relationship, and you put too many demands that the teacher is telling you, look, not yet, and you keep pressing for these or demanding them, you actually ruin your own journey. If the chemistry is good, just listen to the teacher. You get along well with the teacher, you're grasping the material that they're trying to teach, that's good chemistry. If you're scared of the teacher and to the point that you cannot grasp the material that the teacher is trying to share with you, that's not good. If you disrespect the teacher, or the teacher does something that causes you to disrespect them, that's bad chemistry. Okay? So, that being said, try to catch chemistry discrepancies right away. And if you can catch it early enough, you still have time to switch teachers. That's fine. Because here's the thing. Once lessons begin, the journey really begins. Changing teachers in the middle of the journey, I've never seen a good outcome from that. If they switch teachers after the hand frames are set, fine. But if the hand frames are not set, the setup is no good, they're holding, you're still, the student, or the child or adult student, whatever the case may be, is still not holding properly, it's not good to change teacher right then and there, because you're discontinuing a flow. And even worse is if things are not set up properly and you change violin school of thought completely, say from Franco-Belgian bohold over to a Russian before the hands are set, this can be very, very confusing to a student. So try to get the chemistry right away. There are a lot of teachers like myself that will give a free consultation lesson first to make sure that chemistry is good, and then we can just launch right into the lessons. Once those lessons start, you really want to make sure that you do not do anything to that journey until the setup, the hand frames, everything is set. Yeah? because there's a lot more than just physical assets that are being put in place. There are a lot of mental things that are going on. How to mentally approach the violin, how to connect with the instrument. These things are all things that the teachers are dealing with, and they actually plan the journey from beginning to the end of a certain piece of material they wish to share with the student. So these are the things to look out for, whether you're a parent of a student, whether you yourself are a student as a child, or you are a student as an adult. These are things that will apply to every beginning student. And also for students pre-university or pre-conservatory, these are things to consider and think about. Yes? And I want to reiterate one point again. Make sure when you're shopping around for a teacher, you look and really, really study on the teachers. A lot of them will have some sort of bio on their Facebook or their website. Please try to read those, compare, contrast what you're looking for. Remember, if there's somebody who has not achieved a very high level of performance or teaching of some sort, they might not understand why things have to be done a certain way. I'm not saying that they definitely won't understand. There are some people that are naturally great teachers, but it's a little lower down in statistics. Okay? Every rule is meant to be broken. That's that's the simple truth. Okay? So it's not that every grade 5 ABRSM student is unable to teach. I'm not saying that at all. It's just that statistically, most of them have no idea why they have to do things a certain way yet, because they haven't reached that level of performance where they've been pushed to understand why things have to be done a certain way. That being said, please research your teachers before you go and engage them and start your journey. I hope this helps. And if there are any questions about this video or the next two in this series, please just fire away in the comments. I'm happy to reply and help as much as I can. Usually I will try to do a video answer or something. But yes, and as usual, I wish all of you the best in your journey of this wonderful instrument we call the violin. Cheers.